Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Ummati Station. My name is Ali Al Fara'i, the founder of Ummati Station since May 2011. I know, Ummati Station has been in hibernation for a long time for different reasons, or maybe for no reason. But now, here we are back again, and we'll continue the blessing with your support and the blessings of Allah, of course. We will be able to handle all this, inshallah, and continue doing the job. The thing is, what's happening now, I can hear my voice again repeatedly. That's why I had to take this headphone off, but I'll put it back again. And just to add up to this, Ummati Station has introduced a new live show called Chat Away, like take away, chat away, take away, because it's all about chit chat, talk and blah blah and all that. However, this Chat Away show will not be complete without one person that will be a host along with me, and his name is, stay tuned. Who's this guy?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonsoir. It's evening now. Bonsoir, monsieur. Vous allez où
What's
maintenant?
happening? Thank you for inviting me, Abu Zak.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Your fans have missed you, man. Where have you been? You disappeared for like 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. Got kind of busy. Maybe that's a bad excuse. Whenever you say busy, it's a bad excuse. But what to do?
Yeah,
man?
normally people say that they're busy, and then when you ask them what they do, they don't know. They don't have an idea why they're busy. But I'm sure you have something important to do. Anyways, what's cooking for us today, Mr. Ali?
First of all, where did you disappear? I don't see you anymore. Here you are. No, you're not there. Where are you?
Well, I'll do the talking and you handle the technology.
No problem.
Okay.
By all means.
So I think, Ali, this was a very good idea for us to get together and, just catch up on the good old days, and at the same time to have a reality show that, we could talk and, unscripted about things that are happening in the world today. We can debate, we can disagree, we can agree, and we can have different points of view. But basically what is happening today in the world is important to mention. And there is different emotions on both sides. And I think you all know what we're talking about. We're talking about what is happening in France and the Islamic world. So where do we start, Ali?
Well, first of all, please do not forget to subscribe and hit that button so that you can get all the notifications from Ummati Station. So I think mainly because now we're going through this days of the Mawlid, the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, celebration, and I
peace
think
it
peace be upon him, it has been a very hot topic at the moment. Having that birthday as opposed to what's happening because of the love of the Prophet all around the world. And I think what we're going to talk about, this is only one of those few things, or one of those many other reasons why people have such issues with I would call Islam, or maybe Muslims for some reason. So maybe we should start with our friend Macron.
كافح
I'm still
شرا أبطل مكرا 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 فالخطر كبير. Grandizer!
I think people are still confused. Why is the three of us in the same picture in the poster? And that was your idea, man. And a lot of people call me up and ask me, what's the poster about? Why are you why are you smiling, taking pictures with Mr. Macron? And it's hard to explain, especially for the elderly, our parents. And I actually got a call from my dad this afternoon telling me, "Are you into political stuff and this? I don't want you to go behind bars. I want you to be safe." I said, "Don't worry, Dad. As long as I'm with Ali, then I have a companion in prison, and I'm gonna have a good time." But nevertheless, I think our show is very light-hearted, and it's, as I said, it's not scripted. But at the same time, it's difficult to smile and crack jokes about the whole issue. But what we can say is that what is happening now is not something new. It's happened long time ago, since the time of the Prophet, and even after that. And I have something, I was just looking at my library before the show, and I came across a very old book of mine. If you can see this book, it's called The Lies About Muhammad.
Yeah, you can
And
see that.
actually, this book is a response from a Muslim. The original book was written by a Western guy. It's called The Truth About Muhammad. And in that book, it has all the false claims against Prophet Muhammad. So why I got this book in the first place? Because this Muslim did not react like everybody else. He responded in the right way, to every question, every claim that author has written wrongly about Prophet Muhammad. He has responded with evidence. And I think today we Muslims need to do more productive stuff in response to the attacks that we get, because these attacks will never stop. They will always be there. Ali, can I ask you a personal question?
Hmm.
Were you ever offended in school or bullied?
Oh yeah, several times I would say.
How
Several
did how
times.
did you respond? How did you respond to that?
In a very submissive way, I would say, because at that time I used to be weak even in my character, and maybe that was one of the reasons that I was getting bullied. It's because of the character, the
Uh,
personality.
let's say, for example, for the sake of argument, if you are physically masculine, would you do
Hmm.
something about it? Would you, punch them or retaliate or do something like
At
that?
that age, maybe at that age, with that with that youngsters, it's kind of energetic person with no experience in life, I would say, yeah, yeah.
The reason why I'm asking you, Ali, this question is there are two types of evil people.
Hmm.
You have people who are purely evil and they hate you for the sake of hate. And then you have people who are, evil because you did something to them,
Mm.
or they heard something about you, or they have a misconception about you. That's why they try and hurt you. And we have to understand that at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, there were characters like Abu Lahab and Abu
Oh yeah.
Jahl, who are
Mm.
very famous. Yeah. These people were not only blood relation with the Prophet, peace be upon him, but at the same time they witnessed the miracles of the Prophet, and yet they hated him and they
Mm.
insulted him and they tried to kill him. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, knew that these people will always be evil. They will always be insulting the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Salatu salam.
And But you have people like Khalid ibn al-Walid. You have like Umar ibn al-Khattab. You have like Umar ibn al-As. These people who are insulting the prophets, who are fighting against the prophet, but when they came to know the character of the prophet, the true character of the prophet, they became allies, and they became friends, and they became companions. Like me and you, we used to fight at school, and now we're friends and allies.
No, I don't think we had that issue before. Maybe this is something that will let me speak a little bit about the differences of people. There are different types of people, I would say.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about three types of people. And these three, and as an example, I'm just going to say playing chess, shatranj, chess.
Okay.
So for that, there are people who I would say don't know how to play chess. And there are people who know how to play chess, but they don't play it, but they support it. So these three characters, none of them play chess. So number one, he doesn't know how to play chess. Number two, they know how to play, but they only support it. They don't play it. They just support it. The third one, they know how to play it, but they try to fight it. And that example I'm giving you, again, if you go back to Islam, even though we don't compare between the faith and chess. So we have these three people. That means these different people will have different style to speak, to communicate with them. Again, going back to Abu Lahab, other people. There are people who are very knowledgeable. They know about Islam more than a Muslim himself. But they have dedicated their whole life just to fight Prophet Muhammad and prove him wrong, and that Islam is just a fake religion. And there are many YouTubers. I don't know, maybe in next episode we might come across any of these people. There are people who through YouTube, what they do, they take the Mus'haf, the Quran, and they start tearing it up, eating it. I mean, what are you trying to prove by eating that? I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you're hungry, go and get yourself a banana. Why are you eating from the Quran? Are you trying to hurt us, make us feel, oh, come on, why are you doing this with the Quran? No! I mean, come on, man. What are you trying to prove? First of all, you're trying to prove to yourself that, there's something wrong happening there. That's not the way to prove something is wrong, by eating it. So that's the type of people I think they should have a different type of communication. Those who don't know about the religion, I think this is where our role comes as Muslims, to actually explain to them what Islam is. Otherwise, the media is very happy to give them the information. And you know what information we get from the media. Everybody knows that. So that's
Can I cut you off? You remind me of a story that happened to me when I was in The Hague in Holland, in the Netherlands. I went for a course, and there was a lady with us in the course. She was from Mexico. So she approached me and she said, what are you? And I said, I'm a Muslim. So she happily said, oh, so you're Catholic? I said, no, I'm not Catholic. I'm a Muslim. She said, okay. Can I invite you to the bar so that you can tell me about Islam? I said, no, I can't. I can't go to the bar with you. So we receive tourists every single day, Ali, at the Grand Mosque, almost 4,000 people, before the Corona. And the majority of the time, people have never heard of the religion Islam. And this brings me to the point where, when something happens like this from a leader of a country or society or community, it doesn't mean that everybody else in that community is evil.
True. Because
they might not support what is going on. They might not even know who is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we shouldn't be like everybody else, generalizing and putting everybody in one pot. We have all the respect for the French people, who are peaceful, who are loving, who are supportive, who are simple people just trying to make a living, we respect those. But at the same time, when we have animosity from some of them, we have to distinguish between when we are in the battlefield and when we are in our normal lives. If we are in the battlefield, Ali, don't mess with me.
That's a different story. Yeah. It's a different
scenario. I'll get my sword, and I promise you, you won't see me smiling.
Yeah. I won't be nice anymore.
And there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. But we're not in the battlefield. Yeah. So
we don't even plan for that. We don't even plan for that.
Yeah. So you can't go stabbing people and killing people and hurting people just because you are emotionally hurt, or just because the Prophet was insulted. Because at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, you had companions who were very tough, like Umar ibn Khattab, Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab. Yeah. And sometimes when people, the pagans of Mecca, when they come and insult the Prophet, peace be upon him, he would say, "O Prophet of Allah, give me the permission to chop off his head." And the Prophet would say, "No, chill, boy. You don't have to do that, So that's not the way. We shouldn't be aggressive. I don't say we shouldn't be angry.
Yeah.
There's a difference. That I'm angry because what is going on, and I'm angry because the Prophet was insulted, but I don't take the law in my hands.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
Yes.
No, what I'm trying to say is, not everybody is equal. And such things only happened from the minority of people to the minority of people. So people like, for example, Macron and whoever else is against Islam, they're just this few people, and their target is also not everybody. It's also just those few people, but they're just generalizing when they say, all Muslims are. In fact, today I was watching a video. There was a discussion happening. I think there was a very old video in a church, I think, or in a community center, where a person was talking about a mosque and building a mosque. And then suddenly one of the people, the audience, stood up. It was a big guy, with muscles. He stood up and said, "I will do everything to stop this from happening, because you Muslims, all of you are terrorists. All of you." I mean, he has generalized all Muslims. So it doesn't matter if even this baby, baby who was just born today is like, another terrorist is born. But we don't generalize it. And the same thing, when I talk about French, I would say we're not generalizing and saying every French person is a bad because of one person saying something bad about Prophet, the other person is drawing him, his caricature, but that doesn't mean the rest agree with that. So,
Ali, for every single problem that we face, we have to look at the root cause for this problem. In the past, the enemies of the Prophet, peace be upon him, they had a problem with this new faith. This new faith that stops them from cheating and stealing and paying bribes and usury, riba, and this new religion which makes them equal between the master and the servant. They had a problem with that. So they had a problem with the fundamental of this new religion. Yeah. But the case here in France and in other countries that are doing this, it's not about religion. It's not about faith, because as you know, the majority of Europe now is secular. You have very few people who are still loyal to Christianity or go to church or worship and so on. The majority of people are secular or atheist and so on. So the problem is not with the faith itself, the teachings, but the problem is more economical. Because I'll give you an example, Ali. Everything that is brought by the religion of Islam is against making money. I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Gambling is forbidden, and that's a source of income. Drug trafficking is forbidden, and that's against that's against making money. Prostitution and pornography is against Islam, and it's a big business, multi-billion-dollar business. Human trafficking, okay, fashion industry, music industry, and everything else that comes up to your mind, you know, that is against the teachings of Islam. It's ruining the business. So it's all about money. Before that, it used to be the fight for resources. So they would attack Muslims, they would you know, abuse Muslims, insult Muslims because of the resources in their lands. But now, you know, you have Muslims that have states, that have armies and so on. So, you know, how do you, they are very bad. If you have Muslims in your community, they're very bad for business. So you need to get rid of them. You need to break them. You need to, you know, change their mentality. And that's why when the Cold War finished, they started, when they are done with the USSR, the Soviet Union, they moved on to the Islamic world, and they said there's two ways to break the Muslims. You know, start with the woman and then the youth. You know, try and convince women that they are oppressed and they need to be liberated. And for the young people, get them away from the Quran, give them entertainment. And that's what happened.
And you can see that, or maybe nowadays even the target is worse. They start with children, all the way to the I would say the teenage, and it starts even with the thing that they're very excited about. Let's say games, you know, playing games. There are some beliefs that actually has been embedded into these games, and I'm not really a game guy, but I've played recently because we had one, just had it as a gift. So when I played it, I started noticing things in the game. I'm not going to mention what these things are. Maybe that itself will need another topic to talk about. But you know, these are some of the ways that you mentioned, how they try to take that belief from a Muslim and try to embrace their own.
It's all about psychology, Ali. Yani if you look at the movies, the series, the games, the cartoons, you know, they have experts, psychologists, who they will manipulate the ideas, they will influence you without you knowing. And suddenly you have this ideology. I give an example, from the movie industry. You know, when you say Chinese people, what comes into your mind? Chinese food and Kung Fu. But China is not all about Chinese food and Kung Fu. There's so much to know. There's so much. Not everybody in China is, practices Kung Fu. And when you hear Arabs, what comes into your mind?
Camels,
since the time
guns.
we watch cartoons, camels, backwardness, evil people with beard like yours. You know, when you hear Italians, what comes into your mind? Mafia, pizza. Yeah. So that has been embedded in our head through psychology. I give you an example how they use psychology. Ali, when you get up in the morning and you want to brush your teeth, you take the toothpaste. How do you apply the toothpaste on your brush? You start from the beginning till the end. Yes? And actually, dentists will tell you today, you just need a small bit of the paste on the toothbrush.
True.
But what made us, automatically
the commercial.
learn this?
The commercial.
You learn it from the commercial.
Yeah,
Psychology.
yeah. They tell us, and nowadays you can find the brushes really. I don't have it here, but nowadays it's not as it used to be in a big where you have to fill the whole things. Now you can buy even the small one that we used to think at the past that this is for children.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They do play big
I think
roles. They do.
we deviated from Macron to put toothpaste.
But we're trying to find resources, root cause analysis.
One of the ironic things, Ali, what is going on in the world today is the reaction of Muslims among themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we call upon tolerance and mercy and understanding and so on, but sometimes you fail to understand when Muslims, don't accept other opinions. So if you have two Muslims, one of them is very angry and he wants to do, a riot and go to the street and take banners and lift the name of the Prophet and so on, and scream as loud as he can. And then you have another Muslim who believes in tolerance and in containing the situation and doing it in a different way. Okay, I'm angry that they did this to the Prophet, but why don't I write a book? Why don't I write an article? Why don't I do a video? Why don't I do a show like this?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you see, one of them will not agree with the other. You have your way of expressing your anger. I have my way to express my anger. If you can't tolerate my way of doing things, how would you be able to tolerate non-Muslims?
Oh yeah, talking about tolerance. I mean that's a deep thing, and I think there's a question actually. If is mercy and tolerance a sign of weakness? And I would say I think even tolerance itself should have limits. Yes, we do accept others for what they are or who they are. We tolerate with their beliefs, opinions, and choices. Between brackets, the differences. I do train on a subject called assertiveness. I'm sure you're aware of that. And it talks about 3 different characters of people. So there is an aggressive person, and then you have the submissive person.
Like you. Aggressive person like you.
Yeah.
The guy with the long beard.
Oh, you didn't tell me to brush it.
By the way, before you continue, can you pull it to make sure that it's real, it's not fake? Because I've been having mine for the past 20 years, and it's not as long as yours. And you just started at the beginning of Corona. So how did you get it this long, man?
Man, this is a secret. Oh man.
By the way, everybody, just to let you know, Ali is 1 year older than me. I know it's hard to believe with all this gray hair, but it's true. And he's my role model. Yalla, continue. Bismillah.
So yeah, going back about talking about the 3 differences: assertiveness, aggressive, and submissive. So the aggressive person is a person that reacts in anger, and everything in front of him is just anger. So let's say, as an example, if you're at work and your boss, start, I don't know, giving you some reviews and talking, shouting in a really high voice, and then because you have this aggressive personality, you tend not to accept your manager for that, and maybe you will try to shout back. And this confrontation even happen at home, even within family. A person will start shouting.
This reminds me of someone.
Tell me. No, don't tell me. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe he's one of those people right now. How many viewers do we have, by the way? We have 11 viewers. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Please.
Out of the 11 viewers, Ali, I think 10 of them are my brothers and sisters. So don't worry, you can say anything in front of them.
The thing is, it's not about the people who are there only, because it will be live forever until you get it deleted, of course. Otherwise, not.
Yeah.
So
So you
again,
have the aggressive type. Yeah.
yeah. So you have the aggressive type who will always react. There's a difference between reacting and responding. I'm not. English is not my language, but reacting mainly you're doing it in the wrong way, in an aggressive way. So you will try to have control over the situation, and you will say that, yeah, you're wrong, I'm the one who's right. It doesn't matter, even if the other person is right, you won't say that. The other personality, which is the submissive, he is totally the opposite. The manager will start shouting at him, and all what he will do is he will say, yeah, inshallah, yeah, I will do whatever you say. You are right. So even if that guy is wrong, he will not say that he's wrong. And even if he is right, he will not admit that he is right. So that is submissive person. He will take everything. The assertive person, and this is the type of a person that we want everybody to embrace it. I know it's not easy, but with time it will come. The assertive person is mainly you accepting other person's opinion, but you try not to submit yourself totally to that. And also don't get upset and angry. So you're really somewhere in between. And that's where I would say the word tolerance could go. You're accepting, but if you are right, you will say that you're right. And if that person is right, you will actually mention and tend to say that the other person is right and I'm wrong. You will accept that. So that's the difference between these personalities. So what I'm trying to say is some people do not understand the language of love and tolerance. And again, going back to those types of people, the one who doesn't know how to play chess and those who know how to play chess. So there are different way of doing it. But the thing is, from our side, we don't have to go to the extreme and start mocking other people just because he's doing that. Tomorrow I'm gonna go and draw something, or start cursing and say bad words. This is not the manner. This is not the teaching of our Prophet Muhammad. He doesn't teach us to curse people.
There's a saying in there's a saying in Arabic. Sorry to cut you off. There's a saying in Arabic that says, "Treat others with your manners, not with their manners."
Mm-hmm.
So if someone insults you or has animosity against you, it's not necessarily that you go low to their level.
Yeah.
You treat them the way you are brought up, the way you have your values. Not
exactly.
You don't have to go the same way. If they insult you and then you insult them as well, it doesn't mean that you're equal now or you have defeated them. It doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm. I think there's somebody who just commented. I think you know him. Wahid,
you still have one out of the family member. Okay, it's good.
So you have one.
Okay. I think, Ali, you should pay me because I got you all the fans, the 11 fans now. They're all on my side and no one is here to watch you. So you have to pay me, Ali.
I think it's the other way around. Yeah.
So Ali, what do you think of boycotting French products? Maybe it's not the first time that people boycotted the products of Norway when this happened in Norway and Denmark. So what do you think of boycotting? Does it work? It doesn't work? It's a waste of time? Or are we being so harsh on them? What do you think?
Well, let us first define what's boycotting. So mainly boycotting is what? It's a country, I would say, or maybe a group of people sending a message of non-acceptance, and a force to eliminate injustice. The result could be different from boycotting. Of course, it could be financial impact, and the financial impact could be very big if the boycotting is if you're really boycotting a business, a corporate, a company. Or another thing would be to change behavior. If we are boycotting on the level of the country, again, I'm not a financial analyst or economist or any of that, But I would say maybe if we are boycotting a country, the impact is not going to be big as the if you're doing it to a business. It might affect, but the impact might not be that big. So boycotting is just one of the ways. It's not everything. So we should really find different ways that could help. One of them, I would say, is to teach people, so that they understand what Islam is about. But teach the right people. Don't teach the other people who know everything, but they don't tend to accept it. So, but again, the other question, I would maybe raise a question on that, whether you or maybe anybody can comment, is if we boycott a country, what will happen to the people of the country? I'm talking about the innocent. Are they going to be affected?
Okay. I think that's a very valid question, Ali. And boycotting is not an Islamic phenomenon, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, was boycotted by Quraysh for 3 years, and they almost starved. So boycotting is an act that can be done by anyone, and it's considered a freedom of expression, because they are trying to educate us today on freedom of expression. So we are learning the lesson, and we are following their freedom of expression. This is how we express our anger. We won't say anything to you. We won't stab you. We won't be aggressive with you. We won't scream and shout at you. But we just don't want to buy your products. Yeah? And if we don't buy your products, there are two implications on that. Yeah, the first implication is that you will be more pissed with us, and you will insult us more, and we will continue to boycott you more. Yeah. And the other reaction is that when the financial institutions in your country are exhausted and they are not making money, they will pressure you as a country to stop this ridiculous mockery of Muslims, and apologize and go back to your senses. So at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. Muslims have decided that this is our freedom of expression, to teach you a lesson, because we wrote articles so many times, we have written books, we have done TV shows, we have spoken to you politely, we have had conversations, debates, and everything else. Nothing seems to work, but you only understand the dollar sign. You only understand this. And if this is going to be a deterrent for you and stop you from insulting us, why not? Why not? And talking about the people who will be affected through this boycott, people have the right to stand for what is right and just. If our country, say if I live in the GCCs, if our country is oppressing others, I shouldn't be standing only, watching my country doing something wrong. I have a say as a citizen. And if I don't say anything about it, it means I am part of this. And at the same time, how many Muslims have been boycotted in the past? You have Iraq, you have Iran, you have Gaza until today, you have Kashmir, you have so many Islamic countries that a lot of babies have died because of the sanction. A lot of businesses have went bankrupt. A lot of economies have fallen down because of their boycott. So if we do it, then we are criminals. I'm not saying here that we have to do an eye for an eye, but us boycotting their Gucci bags, you cannot compare it with the sanctions on Iraq for 10, 20 years. where they can't get medicines, they can't get supplies, they can't do business, everything is freezed. Or the sanction on Gaza, where people can't live a normal life. So what sort of double standard is this? You know,
Terrible.
I don't mean to look pissed, but yeah, I'm a little bit pissed.
Okay, I think we got somebody here who asked a question, Ruruti. So is boycotting a really bad thing, or does it just last for a little bit, then they get back to the products?
Well, I'm sure, especially for the people of GCC. Thank you, Ruruti, for the question. By the way, Ruruti is my daughter.
Oh,
thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. But looking at the people in the GCC, we love our Gucci bags so much. You know, we love our
Gucci
design
gang.
clothes
They call
so
them
much.
Gucci gang.
Yeah, we might claim that we love the Prophet, peace be upon him, and we're willing to do this. But every single time I'm disappointed how we are very weak in front of these products, and we go back using them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For example, if I speak about myself, about the Danish products, I don't buy them until today. I don't want to see them. You know, I have my stands.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still alive. You know, I'm not dead because I'm not eating Danish products. So if I don't get the Gucci bag and the designer shirt and so on, so what?
Yeah.
I'll buy the counterfeit, the Chinese one. You know, instead of buying the Gucci
from
bag.
Abdul or anybody.
Yeah. So
sure.
yeah. So it's not the end of the world, but when I say that I love the Prophet, peace be upon him, I'll do anything for him. I love him more than my kids, more than my parents, and this. But this is between you and Allah. You know, you don't have to shout. You don't have to carry banners and burn flags and this to show your love to the Prophet. You can do a simple thing between you and Allah, and see.
True.
And don't say that, oh, I'm one person. If I boycott, what will it do? If everyone has that mentality,
the same mentality,
then
what's gonna happen?
Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing is gonna happen.
But if we all stick together, and it's the first time that we stick together and do something as unified, as a unified ummah, then I'm sure we're gonna go somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, I will add one more comment here by Renata. She's actually a friend. We've known each other for a long time. She mentioned that I'm sorry about my ignorance, but what France has done to Arabic countries. The thing is, it's not about the Arabic countries. We're talking here about the faith, the belief, and the religion. So, and this is worldwide. It has nothing to do with any specific. Go ahead.
Ali, I think you know, we need to tell her what they did to the Arab countries, because I don't want to name all of the Arab countries. I just want to name the country with 1 million martyrs who were killed by the French armies, Algeria. Yeah, and you can go and verify what we say, what France did to the Arab countries. And I don't want to mention the other countries, just this one example, and it's good enough, you know. But what is going on today, it's not about Arabs, because 19% of the Muslims in the world are not Arabs. Yeah, sorry, 19% of Muslims around the world are Arabs. The rest are not Arabs. So this problem that we're facing today is not about Arabs. It's about faith.
It's about faith.
So, and it's not a battlefield, but it's a choice. Are we running out of time, Ali?
We are. Okay, we'll take one from Wahid, and then with that, I think we will sign out.
Okay.
Okay, boycotting is a right of every individual. This is one of the ways to express. I strongly believe we should continue. Yeah, I would say, you know, if that's the way, go ahead, man.
Anyways, I don't like Gucci bags and designer stuff. So
really,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work with the dishdasha. With the dishdasha, you can't have a designer dishdasha. So I've never lived with designer stuff. So it's okay.
Okay, this just so that we don't ignore any comments. You have Yasmin Khan.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you know her.
Assalamu alaikum from India. My sis Shahina, a lecturer at SQU, is a great fan of Sheikh Hatim and invited me to. Oh, it
We'll
disappeared.
bring it back. We'll bring it back next time.
And invited me to attend a program hosted by Sheikh Hatim. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Thank you for the comment.
So I think with that, maybe I think because we have exceeded the time limit that we have, we actually said it will be for about 40 minutes. But I think things will just keep on going. If we keep talking, we will not stop, and this topic will never stop. It will just continue happening. And hopefully every time we can have such platform, we will inshallah send the message. And I would give also advice to other people also, that if you have a talent that has been given by God, by all means, different types of talent that you have, please use them. If you're good in writing a poetry, go ahead and do that. That could be strong. So just use your own style. Fighting, if you want to fight, you don't have to fight using swords and guns. That's not the way it is. Yeah, use your talent that you've been given, and then inshallah that will be a way to spread Islam the right way. I would say the right way. Is there anything else you want to share, Brother Hatim, before we?
Yes, I think this show is going to continue, inshallah, and we hope to hear from all of you. If you have any suggestions for topics that you want us to discuss, me and Ali, so please just send us a message, and we'll make sure we find the right topics to talk in the coming days, inshallah. Take care of yourself.
All right. So before I end this, and thank you, Hatim. Thank you. Are you on my left side? Yeah, that's from the screen. Okay. Just for the rest of the people, please like and share this show for today. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and hit that button so that you can get notification from UMMATI station. And also you will have all the contacts of myself and Hatim if you want to contact us through email, other social media means. And with that, I think we will going to sign out. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.